I think everyone has an expectation entering into a new stage in life. I had this expectation for what my 20s were going to look like based on what I saw from social media and television. And now that I've hit like 26 years of age, I'm looking around and I'm like, what was I thinking?
Fringes on, stepping out the house like a daughter of Zion. Covered up, but the glow on me loud, ain't no denying. Not vain, but I walk with a holy alignment. Beauty and obedience, no world can define it. Every stitch got a purpose, yeah. Every move I'm still worshiping. My reflection ain't my idol, the Most High's my only king. Ring is on, looking right. Modesty the drip tonight. Set apart, living life.
Hey guys, okay, so good morning. It's like 7 something now in the morning, and so sorry for the lighting. Right now outside is looking, it's snowing in March. Hold on, I'm gonna get something that should be a little bit better. Yeah, this morning I ended up waking up around like 4:50 and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I ended up waking up fully, brushing my teeth, going downstairs, eating. Y'all saw it. I was reading my Bible. I want to show you guys all the stuff like I was reading and like some of the things I like. Since I'm here, might as well show you some of the like things I use for Bible study that I like and everything. So first of all, I got a new Bible a couple of months ago, almost a year I think at this point ago. It's so cute. It's ESV. It's very small. It's nice. It's a nice, good, like good sized Bible. For example, here's Numbers. I have not been reading through Numbers. And just highlighted. I have a highlight guide. I think the type A in me is very much like I need a highlight guide. Although I'm very much like, I guess I'm type A, but like I have organization issues. Or I love being organized, but I don't always fulfill that. Anyways, but I have like a highlight guide. If you guys want me to put it somewhere so you guys can see it, I will totally do that for you. It's just like a highlight guide so that I can use, I got these highlighters from Mr. Pen, I believe. They're like this. They're like these colors. I love these colors. They don't really show up like exactly like this, but they're good. It's a good one. So a game changer in my Bible study game slash just taking notes game is these clear sticky notes. Anyways, this part was talking about prophecies and like John being like, are you the Messiah? And Jesus like, the lame is walking, aren't they? The blind can see, can't they? The dead is living, aren't they? Like, so I think so, you know what I mean? Like, of course I am, you know what I mean? And I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I just love this. One of the things I'm gonna admit to y'all, so I've been really struggling with my Bible reading and everything. I think I'm just going through it. I'm not gonna lie to you. School is dragging me through the mud, honestly, and it's just causing me to like not do the things that I love. A recession indicator in my life, or like a stress indicator, like something's indicating that I'm stressed or something's not right in me, is when I stop being creative, stop posting, stop doing the things that I love, clearly, stop reading, and like stop, like these are indicators that something's not right, but they're indicators that mean that I need to get back into my work, you know what I mean? Like, I just stopped being me, and that's one thing I'm like, this year I will not allow, you know, the circumstances or what is not happening or what is happening to deter what I know I want to do and what I know God is leading me to do. But yeah, John, I was reading John, and it was talking about how on the last day of the feast, the great day, Jesus stood up and cried, "If anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as the scripture has said, out of his mouth will flow rivers of living water. And I think that's the case when you're really connected to the Lord and you're connected to the source. It flows. You're overflowing with more to give. And I think we're in this generation that we're in right now, we're hungry for like, we're thirsty for God and thirsty for living water, because we're noticing that, you know, these expectations that we had for our lives, you know, are not fulfilling, and they're not satisfying us. Or these jobs that we wanted 3 days ago, years ago, are not satisfying anymore. And these, you know, relationships that we're in are not satisfying anymore. And it's because we're like digging into the wrong sources. We're looking for satisfaction in things that will give you single-handedly none. And go to the Lord, go to him. And that's for me. I'm looking for satisfaction in a world that gives temporary satisfaction. You feel me? And so we're gonna stop that one day at a time. Yeah, anyways, that's what I want to say. That's what I want to do, to go through that with you. My laptop looks insane right there, but ciao. I'm really excited to see what God's gonna do in the season. Like, I feel like the enemy is, oh my gosh, y'all, if y'all know the things that are happening, y'all would be like, what? The enemy is really trying to get me. He's really trying, and it's not working. And honestly, it's so funny because it's like, you really thought, entering in my late 20s, I think one of the things I wish I could go back and say to my younger self is, throw your expectations in the trash and let them go to the dumpster. I started my 20s in the pandemic. Like, it just makes me laugh at like the expectations that I have versus the reality of what was actually happening. I think a lot of the disappointment that I had with my 20s was based on the fact that I really did not trust God with my future. Even though I know all this, I've heard it multiple times in my life that God has a plan for me that is for good and not for evil, and to give me a hope in the future. I know these things, but I didn't. It's crazy that I say this, but I didn't, and sometimes I don't trust God. Everyone in their 20s is going through a different season of life. Some of my friends have children. Some of my friends are married. Some of my friends are in school. I'm in school. Some of my friends are doing this and that. And none of us are in the wrong place. Controlled by the pain. I know my identity. I walk in its name. Today's Bible study was on Jeremiah 29, and I think everyone knows for like Jeremiah 29:11, which is like, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future, basically. And it's so crazy that people leave out the parts before that and the context in which this is being said to them. To think that like God's saying this to the nation of Israel. He's saying to the people of Israel, you are going to be in exile. So while you're in exile, do everything. Might as well, because you're going to be there for a while. Might as well live properly. Have wives and have wives, one wife. Marry a wife, have children, and multiply. Give wives to your sons, and let your daughters get into marriage. And it's basically just saying, like, I think when we think about exile and punishment, like they're being punished for generations of, you know, of rebellion, generations of things. So they're not in exile just because, oh, like God just felt like it, and no, it's rebellion. Like they knew they were rebelling against the Lord. And God, in his infinite mercy and nature, he says, hey, while you're there, live, do everything I'm telling you. And he says build houses and plant gardens. And so it's clearly telling you that, like, they're not slaves here, they're just in exile. And so I think it's just like, even in his punishment there was mercy, and like they get to, you know, do all these things. And you know what, I also think it's quite crazy because it's a blessing to get married and have children. Like, that is a blessing. So God is still blessing these people after years of rebellion, and he's telling them, be fruitful, multiply, build houses, have gardens, and you'll and eat the produce from the gardens. Still mind you, God determines whether you are fruitful and multiply. God determines whether the things you plant grow. I think that's quite merciful. And I think it just really speaks to the character of the Lord in this season. And so, like, I don't know. I not to say that we're in exile or we feel like exile, but I feel like in the time that we're living in, I think it's so easy to just get to the point where we're like, okay, God, like, there's no point in building houses. There's no point in doing this. There's no point in getting married if, you know, the world is becoming trash. Like, no, God told the people of Israel to multiply in slavery. God told the people of Israel to multiply in exile. And so it's quite literally for us to multiply and to live life even when things are looking rough. Period. You know? Yeah. Anyways, that was Jeremiah 29. I recommend you read it. Love it. Love it so much. I can continue that, especially talking about like being in my 20s. I'm like, I can totally understand that. Like, live. Don't get caught up in everything that's you don't understand. Live. Period. Anyways, I'm done. I'm gonna go take a nap. Bye. Period. Oh my gosh. I like highlight pink. Exactly. Ah. What? Highlighting that, I don't care. Girl, let him talk. Let him talk. Okay, if y'all could see outside, I just want to show you. It is it is the end of March and just about to be April, and this is what outside looks like. Trust God not only for the plans for the future, but the plans for now. Let him teach you. Let him instruct you so that when you step into the next season, whether that is graduation, whether that's marriage, whether that's going into a new day, even just the basics. Oh my gosh, I can give you so many verses, but it's like you hear all these verses, but do you believe them? Do you believe that they're true? And honestly, I'm gonna be real honest with you, I didn't believe them. I have this thing where I love to be in control of every aspect of my life, even though nothing is working. So might as well just trust God anyway. Trust God to have control over the situation, because I know I've seen it over and over and over. And I think one of my prayers for the past few years, but mostly last year because I was going through it last year, was, God, I've seen you do it before. God, I've seen you do it. I've seen you come through for me time and time again. Help my mind and my body to come into agreement with that, so I'm not leading and moving in anxiety, but moving in trust that you have every plan to excel me into whatever you have called me to. And lead me to the place where you are in. Let me see your face. If you're not going wherever you're leading me to, then I don't want to go. Point blank period.
It's time to let it go, so let